Well, we have got some actually ridiculous SBCs leaked that aren't even FUT Fantasy. We have FUT Fantasy SBCs, and then let alone these ones that just got leaked today. And then we got some pretty crazy news as well that we have a big cup coming out that actually has massive rewards in it. Now, some things in it are very questionable about the cup, but we'll talk about that. The entire Team 1's been leaked. Half of Team 2 has been leaked already somehow. I have no idea. And Road to the Final cards have been leaked all over the place. So today we have like a shit ton of actual leaks to look at, plus the other random information out there, plus the EA tweet that we talked about on my second channel today that we'll talk about some here. If you guys would like to buy coins, you can go to mmoxp.com. There will be a link in the description down below. They are the cheapest and the safest option. You can use my code JFC at checkout for an 8% discount. But okay, let's jump into it, of course, and thank you all for being here. We're on the road to 20K, and okay, we got this Evo today that came out that looks pretty damn good. And also, it is kind of funny now that evolutions are the first thing that's like we look for, or most of us look for in content. And to be fair, I think EA are actually listening to us in that sense, because I don't know if they thought Evos would be just this popular. I don't know if they thought that. And now since they are, they're really going ham with them, which I think is cool, and they're listening to us, I believe, in that sense. And this card, by the way, or these upgrades, I should say, on this Evo, there's no stat upgrades. It's just anticipate, and it can make some really crazy cards out there. That Bombito looks ridiculous now. This is what the chain looks like on FUTGG here, and yeah, I mean, you can see the card itself just looks pretty ridiculous. Look at all these roles that it can play: center back, left back. The stats are pretty outrageous. There's actually a version of this too with just slightly less stats that does also have the grassroots grades chemistry. So Bombito looks, I mean, ridiculous. So if you guys have used Bombito at center back or left back, let me know if you guys liked him, and especially this Evo version here if you did it today. And also reminding you, today is the last grassroots grind day and the super daily bronze upgrade day. So if you want to go out and try and grind as many bronzes as you can, do some bronze pack method today of all days would be the most worth it, because it's your last chance, even though that's not how it works, but it kind of is how it works. But okay, let's get on to the leaks and news now. And I want to talk about Mycon first, because he was leaked today to be an SBC. If you guys don't know, leakers can usually see if it's going to be a promo team card or an SBC / objective. And oftentimes you see a certain card, you're like, okay, it can't be an objective, so it must be an SBC. That's what Mycon would have been, right? So people said SBC. Turns out this is actually not true. What Mycon actually is going to be a Fantasy FC Cup reward. So an objective reward, 36 entries to win 30 games. And this is where it became quite contentious, because does 36 entries mean 1 game per entry, or does that mean like 4 games per entry, right? Because that's a big difference there. And AC as well doesn't really expand on it. He just says everyone has 36 entries into the mode. You need to win 30 to unlock Mycon. And I tweeted something out because I was like, okay, this is awesome, because I figured 36 entries meant like 4 games per entry, right? If you were to go all the way, I was thinking in my head like a cup mode where 1 entry could be up to 4 wins, right? That's kind of what I was thinking about in my head for this. Cups returning to their former glory. Yeah, they really listened to everything we wanted over the years, and it meant nothing until their money was hurt. Just a reminder though, this looks cool. So I tweeted this before. I thought about how it could literally be like 36 games to win 30. I didn't think about that at the time, so that's much different than it being 36 entries into a cup. It's kind of how I thought it was going to be. Now, AC does say down here, replying to this guy, there's no way I'm getting 30 wins. I'm not an elite div player. No one said it's 30 or 36. Could be, but I don't know how many games is every entry. Stay tuned. We'll share when I get more info. So yeah, that's kind of been the debate right now. I think we all can agree if it's 30 out of 36 wins, then that's just too much. I think we all can agree like, okay, that's a bit absurd, because what used to make the cup mode so great back in the day, earning these types of cards, is that there were usually unlimited entries in, and if you won 4 games in a row, then you got the card. So you could just literally grind. If you really wanted to get that card and you weren't very good, you could hopefully grind and grind and grind and grind and grind and keep playing until you hopefully manage to win 4 in a row and win the cup, right? That was kind of like the nice thing about that for lower skilled players, is that there was unlimited entry. So you really could just kind of play until you hopefully got it. If you didn't, you didn't get it, of course. But I always think that's a nice compromise with these modes, because not everybody's gonna be able to get Mycon, right? Then that's okay. I'm fine having rewards going into the game that not everybody can earn, but you also need to make up for that in some ways by allowing them the best chance to earn it. If it's 36 of 30 games, then like you literally are chalked up before you even begin this if you're not an elite player, right? So that's where I think we can have that sort of like happy medium a little bit, and we'll see what EA decided to do here. But I'm definitely curious. This could turn out to be great, because if this ends up being a 4 win possibly per entry type thing, then we could really kind of have cups back in a way. So that'd be cool to see them actually pull this off well. I fear it's not going to be, but it'd be cool if it was. And AC speculates with this cup, these could be the other rewards in there, these evolutions right here, because he has them all leaked together. So shoot shooting, passing, dribbling, a ping pass plus, and block plus upgrade there. He has 5 new Evos coming out, so that could basically be a part of this cup or a whole new Evo. Don't know for sure, but he thinks it's going to be part of the cup along with the Mycon as well. And ping pass plus, both these are better than Trickster plus in my opinion. Ping pass especially. Ping pass is one of the better play styles actually for passing. And then we got this actually before we get even into any of the fantasy stuff. We have Ruud Gullit and Paolo Maldini coming as SBCs in this promo apparently. And the crazy part is today we got a 90 rated Evo, and you know, it's possible Ruud Gullit could fit into an Evo actually possibly soon here if it were to be just a playstyle Evo or something like that. Maybe even the cup starts to allow, instead of max 89, max 90, and you can put ping pass plus directly on the Gullit right away when he comes out. So that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, 2 huge SBCs, like 2 of the biggest icons really that are base in the game, leaks to come out. And people also do think Odegaard will probably be part of the cup reward as well, because they know he's an objective, right? And that really, a card this good, this is his official card here, and we know he can get upgrades too. So you'd figure it's going to be a cup reward then if it's an objective. It'd be like 15 wins to Mycon's 30 would probably be my guess. And quickly, I want to show you guys his upgrade path because it's actually much different than last year and probably better in my opinion. We have a goal or an assist in the next 4 games. Okay, that's the same as last year's. Same with this one. Club wins 2 of 4 league games. That's the same. Then these 2 are different. So the last year's one was actually making 3 appearances in the next 4 games. Now it is player avoids yellow or red cards in the next 4 league matches. There actually this year is some benefit to a player sitting out. Of course, if you know they haven't gotten a goal or an assist yet, then it's not as much of a benefit. But if they've gotten a goal or an assist in their last 4 games and they sit the next game, actually there is still some benefit to it instead of last year where it was like 3 appearances you had to play. So that's kind of interesting there. And then this one is 10 goals in the next 4 league games. Last year was 11 goals, I believe, in the next 4 league games, or slightly better there. You get a plus 199 face stat, and they are 5-star weak foot and skill moves as well if they get this one. So it's, I think that they're better upgrades too. Just want to show you guys that quickly, and a better graphic actually to show you guys what this would look like is this right here if you want to look at it more in depth, because apparently we have a further upgrade if the player wins their league or main domestic cup, which is interesting. So you actually might see a fantasy upgrade all the way in basically what, May, you would say. And the main domestic cup finals are usually around, yeah, later in the season as well. So that's kind of a cool way to keep them at least like engaging until later on in the year. And by the way, yesterday the Argentina player they hyped up for an SBC was Buendia. So this is the official card as well. Yeah, that was a letdown. We did get this card, and that's Caroline Nicoli, if I said that right. I believe she's on the way here shortly. Her, and then we have one more. We've got a Benacer fantasy card that is supposed to be an objective apparently also. Could possibly be in the cup as well. But that gives us Joao Felix, Maldini, Gullit, Guti, and Buendia as SBCs leaked so far. And yeah, you know, Gullit, Maldini are 1 million plus coins. They are a bit behind the power curve, you would say, low key. Not to complain about a Gullit Maldini SBC, but the thing that is nice about these kinds of SBCs coming out nowadays is that less so Maldini because he's 92, but you know Ruud Gullit will fit into an Evo soon. So they're dropping so many Evos now. If they keep this momentum and pace up, we're getting 5 or 6 a week at this point. If they keep that up, you know Gullit will fit in very shortly. And he's still going to be good, of course. Just you might say there's other center mids out there that might end up doing what he does a little bit better. But the thing with Gullit is if he manages to get a card in an Evo that's really, really good, Gullit has the aura. You know, Gullit has the body type. He's got the hair trait. He's got the black boots trait. You know, you name the conspiracies here. He's got it all. So he's going to be insane when an Evo comes out. So I'm okay with them dropping SBCs like this that give us a chance to put Gullit or Maldini into an Evo, because we don't get that chance. We don't pack Gullit. We don't get that chance. And then the promo team leaks plus the road to the final leaks right now. There's a ton of them. So let's just get into this here. These are all official stats, by the way. So Matuidi and Hazard, they look like that. Plus they can get upgrades, which I haven't seen a hero upgrade path yet. I'll look for that here in a sec, but that's absolutely insane. Son looks like that with quick step and finesse. Okay. Marmouche looks like that. That's ridiculous. Kvaratskhelia, Tchouameni. I'm surprised they're this high rated already, honestly. 93 rated. We didn't see Vialli yesterday. He makes it in there. Georgia, Francescoli. I mean, all these cards really, they all look like they have pretty damn good play styles. You know, Dunn is rapid and relentless, which is kind of odd for a center mid, but Kanu, I'd be so down to try Kanu out with press proven and finesse, and Caicedo has press proven and intercept. Maulin, first touch rapid. This billing is like 6'4", 6'5", 5 with Bruiser and Incisive. That's an insane card that can get upgrades to. And of course, you got kind of like the fodder ones down here. And you can pause it if you'd like to look at anything further here. But this is why FUT Fantasy usually ends up being a really good promo, or people think of it as a really good promo because the cards are insane. And, you know, it tends to be, they're so expensive, it ends up not really being a great promo in that way. But if the cup is good, it's good. You know, we don't have any idea, but the promo cards themselves are usually all like pretty crazy expensive and good, which I think many are kind of over that hype now. And wait a minute here, we have the best Fantasy FC week 2 players. So already Rashford's in week 2, Rodrigo's in week 2, Davies, Fermin, and Matisse Tell. Hey, Matisse Tell's back, and you do wonder, kind of an interesting one because, you know, Tell just being leaked now coming out just like 2 weeks later, I want to say. It makes you wonder if Tell was delayed maybe, and that's interesting because then you think about the leakers who get the information. Maybe it wasn't wrong info, like the leaker who got the info was told Tell would come out as an SBC, and that wasn't wrong. He was just mad early on that, and maybe next week if Tell gets announced as an SBC, that would be kind of funny. But I always wonder how, you know, the leakers get the info. You know, is it just somebody at EA basically hooking them up? Because we know it's not data mined. That we do know is they don't get the leaks from that. It's most likely somebody just telling them that what's coming out, and it's simple as that. And they just make graphics based off what they say. But it is quite interesting. And okay, here is the hero upgrade path here. Club wins 2 of next 4 league games, and they score 10 goals in the next 4 league games. Those are the hero upgrades. And it's a 99 face stat and a +1 overall there for Kanu, hypothetically. So that's the hero upgrade. And then Road to the Final cards started getting leaked, and Boniface makes it in. FUT Agent was leaking these ones. I don't know how the hell he got this info, but FUT Agent's here leaking them now. He's also got Edin Jagrova as well, has been leaked to be in Road to the Final, and it didn't end there. Luka Dean also makes it in. Is it Dean or Dean? Yeah, I've heard people say Dean, but I'm like, is it really just Dean? If you're French, please help me in the comments. And then we also got Axel Witsel as well, leaked to be in here. And the upgrade path is here. If you want to read through this slowly, I'll scroll down kind of slowly if you want to read through it. But yeah, I don't know. A ton of leaks right now, and I do wonder if it's intentional. I wonder if people that know the leaks or maybe work for EA feed these people a lot at certain points to maybe drive up engagement or hype for certain things. That could be just bullshit. But I do wonder why we see sometimes like crazy amounts at once. Is it just by law of averages? Basically, you'll end up with a lot at once sometimes. And then we got the EA direct tweet. We talked about it on the second channel today, so I won't give too much of an analysis of this, but basically EA are implementing some sort of change in matchmaking for the next 48 hours. And I'm assuming they're just going to look at the data and see if they think the change is good, or if it's worth it, or if it's not worth it. And there are many people in their replies saying, oh my god, does this mean that they're trying to look into matchmaking being better because they think gameplay is worse because of bad matchmaking maybe? Or, you know, this is a first potential attempts to fix bad gameplay and delay and stuff like that. It's kind of their first attempt at that. And I want to believe you. You know, I would like to believe you, but I can't. I cannot get behind that one. I think what this most likely is going to be is some sort of engagement optimized matchmaking system that is designed to keep people on the game as long as possible. If they're going to end up changing the matchmaking, right? If they're going to change it, it's probably not going to be in our favor. I would doubt that. Now, I could be wrong about that, of course, but I explained why and why they would even tell us this on my other videos. So we're going to go watch that. You guys can. And there were some actual leaker beef today. I can't even say with a straight face. There was some leaker beef today, guys. And the reason I'm showing this to you is because apparently UT Sources was stealing some content, right? Now, FGZ News, who of course we know is Fraud Zone on this channel, he says Donk runs that account, not 1 crying laughing emojis, but 2 crying laughing emojis. So, you know, I always do wonder if there are accounts out there just ran by the same people. Like apparently UT Sources is ran by Donk as well, who also both combined probably have, I don't know, like 700,000 followers. Like UT Sources is 317,000, Donk as 569, so 800 or almost 900,000 followers here. If these followers were gained by like content creation and not kind of like just tweeting out leaks, these people would be making no bullshit 6 figures plus on like brand deals would be through the roof. And it's crazy to think about just how many followers these people have based off of FIFA leaks. Like we're talking FUT Sheriff has I think 1.3 million followers off tweeting FIFA leaks, and that shows you how big the game actually is, because the Twitter and online sphere isn't everybody, right? So there's a whole outside people that don't have any idea about the leaks and stuff like that just play, and it's crazy just how big this game is. Now I want to give you guys like a quick little like reminder that with Evos, if we're gonna get 5 a week now, like genuinely for the rest of the year, there is no stable market anymore. Like there just simply will not be a stable market. That's a very, very generalized thing to say, but if you can have any player come out at any position that just takes over your starting spot, it'll just cause crashes, correct the market in a certain way. There is no like virtually guaranteed buy times anymore. Those just aren't a thing. They won't be if there's 5 Evos a week, which I'll take that. I love the Evos. I'd rather have that. But when these two cards can exist, and same with like, I don't know, a left back Mendy that looks like this, right? I mean, center backs and left backs will just die. Like, they're gonna die, and we see 5 of them a week. It's like, it's just too many opportunities to lose coins on. So be aware anytime you want to buy expensive cards that you can just kind of get shafted on that. Now, the 5-6 mil plus ones, those are like gonna be better than any Evos that can come out. So like, those don't really get affected by things. But the range that could is like this Fouty or the 500k to a million coin card that could really get affected by any Evos dropping. And just like today, we had a max 90 Evo. Guys, go out and buy cards you think can be used in Evos up to 90 rated. Just go out and buy them right now. But I will say, if the cup actually is, say, a decently valued games wise to rewards wise, gameplay demand will go way up, especially if there's no requirements in the friendly. Combining that with an expensive promo, the market actually has a good chance to rise, at least hypothetically. But of course, recently that's not happened. Now, I will still say it's dependent on the cup, but if the cup is really worth it and it actually is somewhat challenging, not overly challenging, but somewhat challenging, that perfect medium there will create such high gameplay demand, the market's going to go up. So that's interesting, or an interesting thing to think about there, I guess. And reading a couple comments from the second channel today, very first thing is like, with the matchmaking change today, that tweet was at like 5 a.m. my time, like 11 a.m., 12 p.m. UK time. If you notice a difference today, post that time, let me know in the comments, because Potato says matchmaking seemed easier. So, you know, if there's any difference at all, let me know. And I did have a theory that they're telling us this because they basically want you to prepare for there to be higher ping in your games this weekend a little bit, because otherwise, why would they tell us that? It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. They could just run a test in the back end, but if it ended up being a case where we all noticed that there was crazy high ping this weekend, they would like be under some fire for that, right? Because we'd all say, hey, what's going on? Something's broken. And then they come out and say that they were testing something, but they didn't tell us that. Then that becomes like a, hey, why are you testing things without telling us? So I think they thought, my theory is that I think they thought they needed to tell us that because they knew ping would probably be a little bit higher this weekend, or something would be noticeable this weekend that wasn't before, if that makes sense. And Bojan saying, chill, mate, you were in your father's balls when people use the Serie A trio. I hate to say it, but Seydou Doumbia is my favorite card in FIFA history. FIFA 15 Seydou Doumbia. I know I look young, but also go fuck yourself, Bojan. And Will Clapton, Will Clapton, talking about how toxic the fan base is, or the player base is for FC. And I do think that you're not wrong in the sense that I think that there's a part of this player base that just enjoys and almost embraces the insane toxicity that you can be in this game. And the last sentence where it's like, I kind of feel for EA trying to please these miserable people who live on this game, lol. This is where we need to try and balance that, right? Because yeah, you don't want to be that miserable person who anything they put out, you're just like, nah, it's bad, nah, it's bad. But you also don't want to just fucking spread your legs and wide open and just take it, right? Take whatever they give you and start. Okay, I was gonna start doing something crazy, but you want to try and find that balance of criticality versus acceptance of like the content, stuff like that. So I try and find that, and I like when people kind of check me on it if I'm going too far or not going far enough, maybe even potentially. But anyway, like back to the toxic stuff, like let's not, like if you're a player who likes to gritty, likes to be a little toxic, let's just chill, okay? We're all in this together. We're all playing this game that the sport we love, the video game of that, made by the company that we all collectively pretty much don't like. And most of us think some of the stuff I do is literally illegal, like shouldn't be allowed. Like, let's not go after each other. Going after each other, we're just, you know, EA loves that part. They love us going after each other and not having us sit there and think, wait a minute, and then we look up and go, wait, they're actually the bad guys. It's not us bickering between each other. They don't like that idea. So anyway, thank you all for being here. I appreciate you all so much. Love you all. Peace.